Hello everyone, welcome back to Teacup Tarot. My name is Reya, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at what messages you need to receive from your future self. And personally for me, I've kept the future self as to be 2 years from now. Yeah, of course this is a timeless video, so whenever you watch this, 2 years from now is where the future self is sending you these messages from. Now you can select a pile that is most for you depending on the feathers, the images if they call to you, and if not, you can select on the basis of one of these elements. I'll give you some time and then we start with pile 1. Hello, and if you've selected pile 1, then these are the messages that you need to receive from your future self. Yeah. Now let's take a look. We start off with your tarot. Okay. Now basically for you, your future self is here to tell you don't be afraid of changes. Don't be afraid of doing something that makes your soul happy, even though it may not be something that the society wants from you. Any choices that you make for yourself, please make sure it makes you happy. Because in the end, it is your happiness that is going to be counting. See, the people who have the greatest amount of influence in your life may not be the right kind of people to get advice from. So when you want to get that advice from somebody who's living a life that you want to live. You need to also have a mentor in place. Yeah? Always have this one person who you can look up to. That's what your future self is here to tell you. And then you have to ask yourself time and again, how can I be more like this person? What can I do to make my path to be similar to this person? Because remember, your future self is here to tell you every little thing that you do today. Every little action that you do today counts in the long term. Yeah? Once again, your future self is here to tell you at this point of time in your life, don't try to experiment too much. Follow a path that is more traditional, but yet a path that makes you happy. Whether this is according to your spiritual life, whether this is for your material gains, a traditional path, a path that has been followed before and something that you can emulate for your life. Yeah? Once again, your future self is here to tell you, please concentrate on your health. Because your health is very important, so this includes eating healthy. This includes exercise and also giving yourself a mental break when you feel like it. Please make sure you concentrate on sleeping well. Now this is a special message regarding your sleep. Please make sure to get the hours of sleep that are necessary for you and avoid distractions at this point of time. If this is your bedtime, stick to it and go to bed that time. So then you can have a pattern when it comes to your life. Because remember, your health today makes a huge difference in your tomorrow. And since this is a message from your future self, you may want to take special important messages from it. Now, your future self was also here to tell you, have dreams for yourself. Think about long term. When you're sitting and planning, don't just think about, okay, I'll do this today and this is enough. Think about, is this going to work for me in the long term? So any career decisions you're taking, your future self is telling you, is this going to work out for you in the long term? And is this something that you want to continue to do for the rest of your life if you had that choice? Because any career choices need to be taken keeping the long term in mind, what your future self is here to tell you. Focus is a message coming through for you. And remember, your future self is also here to tell you one door will close and the second will open. So don't be afraid to shut a couple of doors in your life. Because when you shut up one door, the new door and the one that is most for you will show up. Yeah? Once again, your future self is here to tell you, please make sure when it comes to your spiritual life, you have an altar in place. And when you are meditating or when you're dedicating something to your spiritual life, sit in one place. If you change your place frequently, then the energies are really getting scattered. So in your life, in your studio, in your apartment, have a place where you worship and you worship constantly. Yeah, and your altar can be decorated in a way that really feels right for you. Use your own personal energies there. If you want, you can use crystals there. If you want to keep some kind of image there, you can keep an image there. But also make sure that the direction you face is a direction that is right for you. Preferably, if you can face north when it comes to meditative practices, that is good, because the most amount of energy you get from the northern direction. Yeah, but making an altar and sticking to that altar is a message for you. Now, your future self is also here to tell you you need to be more honest with yourself. Be honest with your desires. Is this something that you truly want? So when it comes to any decisions, don't be like, oh, I'm expected to do this. Does this make you happy? That is the question that you need to ask yourself. Because when you follow your passion, when you're true to yourself, and when you ask yourself these important questions, the life will be a one that really, really speaks the most for you. Now, your future self is also here to tell you, don't focus on petty things. Somebody says something, you get very angry and you hold on to their grudge. It is something very petty. Remember, these disagreements, little disagreements, they're not going to matter in the long term. Yeah? So then focus on something that will matter in your life long term. Yeah? Because sometimes you waste your energy. That is what your future self is here to tell you. And please step away from it. Yeah? Instead of fighting people or instead of fighting things, seek to find a common ground. Try and work towards bringing harmony when it comes to relationships, because it will help you in your long term. Yeah? Don't focus on disagreements and differences. Focus on a common ground. That is the message for you. Now, your future self is also here to tell you, if you feel like things are getting a little bit too much, or if you feel like you've gotten yourself into things that you have no control over, surrender it. And don't be afraid of surrendering it. Because remember, when one door closes, another one begins. When you surrender the things you cannot control, you'll then be directed to a life that is most for you. Yeah? Remember this, sometimes you may feel like you're drawn into extremes. There is this one part of you who wants to do this, who want to live this kind of life. And there's going to be the second part of you who wants to live a different kind of a life. Sometimes you could also feel like some kind of, going to fro with your spiritual life and your material life. Because it's like one point of time you want to devote your time to all things spiritual, and the second one is like forcing you to go into material. Once again, the work of opposites. So it is best to surrender to spirit. Then spirit will guide you. When you're supposed to be getting into your spirituality, you'll automatically go there. And when you have to take care of your material life, you automatically will be drawn in that direction. Now, your future self is also here to tell you, don't be afraid of a new life. Don't be afraid of new beginnings. Yeah? You have to get away from all the fear that is holding you back. See, it's like, you want a different kind of a life. You want a life that is glorious. You want a life that is free. But something ties you in place right now. Maybe it's like, oh, what if I do this and it goes wrong? What if this doesn't work out? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You should give it a try. Yeah? That's something that's coming through. Don't be afraid. Sometimes you have to be like the fool. Willing to be a fool. That is coming through for you. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Now, your future self is also here to tell you that you need to take a very good look in the mirror. And when you take a look in the mirror, don't be afraid of looking at the flawed parts of you. Because when you look at those flawed parts and you look at it with the idea of reflecting on it, you will know what are the things that are wrong, and then you can set it right. Yeah? Take the time to reflect on your life. Take the time to reflect on the mistakes that you've made so that you don't repeat it in the future. Yeah? Because there are certain parts of you that are slightly dark. And that darkness needs to be chipped away for that beautiful self of yours to be emerged. But it cannot happen without reflection. Yeah? That's what your future self is telling you. Now, your future self is also here to tell you that the life you live has to be heart-centered. Whatever you do, it has to be heart-centered. The power that you believe in has to be a power that holds a place in your heart. And don't be like, oh, this thing gives me a lot of abundance, or this thing gives me a lot of, rewards in return, and hence I will go in that direction. No. See, if a particular archangel calls to you, The connection has to be one because you love that archangel, similar to any saint. Don't think about what this person can give me. Just think about I need to love this, and whatever has to be will be. Yeah? Once again, you have to start to love the dark parts of yourself, the parts that are not so good. Because it is the energy of love that will change you inside out. Yeah, because the life that you're supposed to be living in the future is a heart-centered one, not one that is directed by your mind. A mind can only go to a certain dimension. Heart is connected to the God. Yeah, that's coming through. And also, your future self is here to tell you you are different. Your life path is different, and the life path that you have is not going to be similar to anyone around you. Yeah? It may seem right now that you are on a straight trajectory, but your life is going to take you places. Because in a way, you are the high priestess. You have a very specific spiritual path to take. You have a very specific path to take when it comes to your life, family life as well. And you need to be open to change. And sometimes change is something that you're afraid of. So that is something that you need to work towards. And the one thing that you always need to remember is you don't have to be afraid. God has got you. Your spirit guides have your back. And when one door closes, there is always going to be another one that opens for you. Live your life boldly, because that is the way you're destined to live. That is what your future self is here to tell you today. And as I wrap this up, I'm going to be leaving you with my best wishes. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, and if you've selected pile 2, these are the messages that you need to receive from your future self for your life. Let's take a look. We start with your tarot. Now, for you, pile 2, your future self is here to tell you that the life that you're living right now and the life that you're going to be living 2 years from now is going to be supremely different. Yeah? And in fact, it's going to be so different that sometime you are going to be surprised with it. But in the present moment, your future self is here to tell you just put one foot in front of the other. Your future self is here to tell you that you're here to learn something. And right now, whichever phase of life you are in, you're learning some very, very important lessons. For you, pile 2, the people who are in your life right now, you have karmic bonds with them. And karmic bonds from your past life is coming through. And your job is to do the best that you can, and nothing more than that. Now, your future self is also here to tell you, please try to not become a know-it-all. Because wherever you are placed, there is a lot of scope for development. There is a lot of scope for higher learning. Now, higher learning can be from a person for you, like you find a mentor who you know guides you in the best way possible, and you learn from that person. Or sometimes getting knowledge by going back to university may also be something that you need to do, because you don't have all the answers right now. You're in the learning phase of your life. And as you continue on this learning journey, your future self is here to tell you, you will gain massively in the future. Your future self is also here to tell you that a lot of changes are going to be happening in the area of your career. Yeah? And be open to those changes. Some of you could be pursuing an entirely different career 2 years from now. And remember, it is going to be a career that makes you happy. Which is why, wherever you are, you're supposed to be learning. Yeah? And remember, for you, the learning journey is independent. It is not with anybody else. So even when you're at your work with your colleagues, don't try to work with people too much. To a specific extent, yes. Like when you have to work in a group, you have to work in a group. But try and work on your own. Make the effort on yourself to be better than what you were yesterday. Now, your future self is also here to tell you, when you have to take certain important decisions, wait till you're very, very clear about it. If you feel like you're in two minds about something, it is better to postpone taking any decision. Yeah? Take it easy. Take a step back when you feel like you don't know all the answers. And only when you have clarity, go in that direction. Remember, sometimes in your life, two things may call to you simultaneously, and you cannot pursue those two things together. So then take the time to decide that, okay, this is something that I want to do because this is what my future is going to be. And remember, your future self is also here to tell you that emotionally you are going to be in a much better place 2 years from now, even though you're happy wherever you are right now. Yeah, it's going to be a life that is free from any kind of fear from any kind of material burden on you, or any kind of responsibilities that you don't want but are on you right now. It is going to be a life that you feel are blessed, and that is truly and incredibly blessed. Now, your future self is also here to tell you a change of place or a change of residence is very likely for you in the future. For some of you, as I mentioned, this change could be in a job too, which requires you to change your residence, but that is coming. Movement is there, and movement is constant. Frequent travel is also on the cards for you, is what your future self is here to tell you. Now, your future self is also here to tell you that the element of fire, use it in your life. Now, this could mean that every single day you light a candle for the divine, in the name of the divine, or for your ancestors. If you call to it, please do it, because your connection with the realm of ancestors and spirit is through the element of fire. Use it, yeah, but connect with fire in some capacity. Now, your future self, as we started off, is here to tell you that change is starting in your life. The change may feel very slow and steadily coming, but once the change is complete, you will have transformed from the caterpillar to the butterfly. And once you enter the full form, that of the butterfly, there is no stopping you, which I feel will happen 2 years from now. And remember, there is a lot of blessing pouring into your life wherever you are right now. I don't know if you see it, but it is clearly there. So count your blessings. Make the most of wherever you are, because that is what you are expected to do at this point of time. Now, your future self is also here to tell you, use color therapy. Yeah, once again, try and find out which color makes you feel a certain way. Yeah, for example, my color is like white. In my everyday life, you'll see me wearing white a lot because that just makes me feel more like myself. Your color could be indigo, your color could be that of the rainbow, it could be green, it could be anything, but you have to find it out, because color therapy may help you a lot in your life. Yeah. Now, your future self is also here to tell you, don't be afraid of making changes. Don't be afraid of movement. Don't be afraid of going in an entirely new direction. And sometimes, don't be afraid of starting from scratch. Yeah? Because anything you start from scratch right now will be blessed. Because the time is that of transformation, slow and steady transformation for you. So say yes to adventure and say yes to change. Remember, your future self is also here to tell you, when it comes to your spiritual life, all paths lead to home. So follow a path that is most for you. It may not be the path of your ancestors. It may not have been a path that anybody else walks but you. Because remember, when it comes to the spiritual journey, it is an individual journey. And your family may not be part of your soul tribe, but somebody else may be. So trust your intuition, because that intuition is that inner authority which will take you where you're supposed to be when it comes to your life. And remember, for that you have to turn within. Don't try to find God outside. Find that God within you. Your future self is also here to tell you, pay attention to your own self. Pay attention to the way you feel. Pay attention to the way you dress. Dress for the job that you want. Dress according to the life that you want to live. Yeah? So this is almost like a silent manifestation process for you. Behave in a way that you have already everything that you want. But nurture yourself. Take care of yourself. And most importantly, take care of your emotions. Yeah. Now this may be a specific message, but please take care of, your hormones. If you're a woman especially, maybe for some of you, you may have a hormonal issue, or there is a possibility that it may come in. Then please nurture yourself and give yourself whatever you need. Now, once again, please make sure to connect with your emotions. And remember, water is a strong element for you. So once again, working with water therapy, or especially you may be the kind of people when you're showering, you get clear ideas, because water is a strong connector. So connect with your emotions, and please make sure you keep your body hydrated, because for some of you, I feel like you're not doing that. Yeah, please be a little bit careful about it. But connecting with your emotions is going to be supremely important in your journey. And your future self is here to tell you, don't force yourself to do something that you don't want to do. Yeah, don't make decisions that you know are not right for your life, but you're making it nevertheless. Ask yourself, am I okay with it? And only if you feel like, okay, this is right, do it. Now, your future self is also here to tell you that there are certain higher forces in your life that are helping you out. Now, these are shamanic forces. Now, maybe if you've met a guru, this could be your own guru working with you in some capacity. And even though you don't see the changes in your life on face value, those changes are happening. See, when it comes to our spiritual life, changes are very subtle and sometimes we can miss it. We may feel like nothing is happening, but massive transformations can be happening inside out. And I feel like the transformations are going to be complete 2 years from now, because this is a message from your future self 2 years from now. Yeah, but trust this process. Trust the forces that are guiding you, because you are in perfect alignment with your spirit and your guru. Now, your future self is also here to tell you that you have to know what your strengths are. You need to know what you're good at, and you also need to know what you're not good at. Yeah? So if you feel like, you're only pursuing a career because you're supposed to do that, and you're not succeeding there, why are you still doing it? Try something else. You may be more, successful there. Or if you're trying to do something and, it is working massively great for you, then that is your strength. Do more of it. You're not supposed to live a life that is proper according to your society. That is not for you. It is proper according to your own strength. So recognize your strength. Certain kinds of job are not your destiny, but some other kinds truly are. And for which you have to know what you're good at and what you're not good at. That is what your future self is here to tell you. Don't compromise on your integrity. Don't do something because you're supposed to do it because society expects of you. That is not you, Paltu. Yeah? Don't compromise yourself in your relationships. Try and be adaptable. Being adaptable and compromising are two very different things. Just remember that when it comes to your life. You are in this flux of change where every single day something is changing, and that is changing inside, maybe because of which you're not seeing the changes outside. But they are going to be happening, and they're happening already. Just make sure you're learning something every day. Become a student of life and pay more careful attention to your education. That is very important. Yeah? Overall, you will find happiness in your future, depending on what you do today. So make the most of your today, one step in front of the other. That is all you need to do. I will leave you here with my best wishes for your life. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, and if you've selected two, then these are the messages that you need to receive from your future self. We start with tarot. Let's see. Okay. Basically for you, your future self is here to tell you, please stop worrying. Yeah? We have everything under control. We have a life that we love, and we have a life that we are happy in. Yeah? We are very much in our element, so don't worry. And you are on the right path. Okay, this is a very, very clear message. So whatever you're doing is working for you. Please do it. And please do it according to your own strength and capacity. You don't have to force yourself. The kind of efforts you're putting, it's good. You've got this. Your future self is also here to tell you that the easiest way to remove obstacles is to help somebody out who is in need. Yeah? So please, if you can, do more charity work that will help your future self. Helping somebody in need. And this need can be any kind of need, This could even be your parents wanting your help when it comes to household work. or a complete stranger wants your help with regards to their career. Whoever it is, if somebody asks you for the help them in whichever capacity you're comfortable with. And what will happen is, almost by magic, every obstacle on your path is going to be removed. Now, your future self is also here to tell you, career-wise, you are good. You have achieved a huge level in your career life. Yeah? People recognize you for your talent. People recognize for you for your accomplishments. But most importantly, you're happy with what you're doing. And for some of you, you're actually in a position of authority is what your future self is telling you, where you get to dictate terms. For some of you, you are also working independently. You are your own boss. So if you're right now working on a project, independent project, you're finding success with it in the long term. But your future self is here to tell you, you are calling the shots. Yeah? So if you're even working for an organization, people respect you and people respect your opinion. You have that position of authority. Now this could be a very specific message, but you are married and you have a child as well. Okay? So for my friends who are at that level, I feel like marriage and children are on the cards for you. And for my audience who are slightly older, I feel like somebody in your family may be getting married and may also have kids very, very soon. Yeah, but that commitment, family, marriage, that nurturing, relationships are on the cards for you in the future. Now, your future self is also here to tell you, please try and include more aromatherapy in your practice. Yeah, aromatherapy can be used to sort of lower your stress levels. If you are very stressed regarding your work, please use aromatherapy. At least before sleeping, use essential oils or take a bath with them. That is helpful. And I'll tell you this, when it comes to your spiritual practice, to use aromatherapy. Because angels absolutely are attracted to a person who uses, essential oils, especially the beautiful fragrant ones. Use that. But aromatherapy use will help you in your life a great deal. Okay. Now, you are finding the love of your life. Okay, or you're finding true love in your relationship, which is why I was probably getting the message of, relationship, harmony, family, kids. But you're finding that true love is what your future self is here to tell you. And it is that dedication that you have to becoming the best version of yourself, which is getting you the person who is meant to be yours. And for people who are already in relationships, this is like, you are becoming the best version of you. Hence, you are attracting a partner who's becoming the best version of themselves. See, when we become better, the other person also shows up at their best self. So it is true love, nevertheless. Now, your future self is also here to tell you that you need to know that the earth is a school. So wherever you are right now, you're learning a very important lesson. And please make sure you learn your lessons well. Get the basics right when it comes to your life. And don't repeat the mistakes that you've already made in your past. So please make sure you allow your soul to grow. Okay? And please make sure you don't hold on to the past too tightly, because sometimes your future self is here to tell you that you do that. And when you hold on to the past, you take away from your present, and your future is something your future self is warning you against. Your future self is also here to tell you, if you can, invest in some spiritual books. Getting extra knowledge about spirituality, that will help you. And that will help you understand some of the questions that you have right now. So learning about spirituality from books may be something that you need to do in the upcoming time. Your future self is also here to tell you, please make sure you make rest a priority for your life. That you go on vacations, you take some days off just to be happy on your own and not feel guilty about it. Because sometimes you have a tendency of being sort of a workaholic, and taking a time off or taking a break makes you feel like really guilty. But don't do that. Because self-care is important for you and slowing down is important for you. Your future self is also here to tell you, as you grow, you're going to be living a great deal of, earthly based life, where you are more in harmony with nature. For some of you, moving to a place which is more slow paced is also on the cards. being in harmony with Mother Nature, or adopting a vegan kind of a lifestyle, or going vegetarian may also be on the cards for you. So whatever it is, do things that make you happy. Your future self is, however, warning you to not be attached to too many things. So if you have a tendency of buying things just to satisfy your soul, or you have a tendency of being exceedingly attached to the outcome of events, please avoid that. Attachment of all sorts need to be let go of. Yeah? See, do your best, expect the best, but in the end, leave the results to the divine. Yeah? Now, your future self is also here to tell you that, it's when you want to create abundance in your life, you have to do your best. So what is your best is what your future self is asking you. See, you want a promotion, but if you're not willing to put in the hard work, that promotion is not going to come. So hard work is necessary, but also smart work is necessary. So you have to ask yourself, whatever I'm doing, am I giving the right kind of energy? So for some of you, if you're the kind of people when you go to work, you like to find time to idle away, or you're looking at the watch and you're like, oh, when can I get out of here? Maybe you have to change your attitude a little bit. Yeah? Make sure when you are working, you're giving your 100%. Because then what you get back in return is going to be 100%. You have to be dedicated to a dream. Because only in that case, you will have it realized. Now, your future self is also here to tell you, sometimes you're afraid. Sometimes you're afraid of things that even you don't know what you're afraid of. But you have to track those and destroy it. Because fear destroys more dreams than anything. So let go of that fear. Because honestly, there's nothing for you to be afraid of. Everything is working out beautifully. And you are on the right track. That was the message we started off with. So track your fears and destroy them, and focus instead on what you truly, truly desire. Now, your future self is also here to tell you that there are going to be lot of blessings in your life. Okay, lot of blessings, and you'll be amazed at how blessed your life becomes in the future. But start that by being grateful for what you have right now. Nobody has gotten huge things by being dissatisfied with where they are right now. Focus on gratitude, and that is what will grow in your life. So even if you have very little money in your wallet, be grateful for it. Because there are people who don't even have that much. Yeah? So whatever it is, live a life of gratitude. So that when you have more, you'll have more value of that too. Yeah? But overall, your future self is telling you, you are doing well. The only thing that you need to do is be a little bit detached and let go of any kind of fear. And take time to rest, most importantly. I will leave you here with my best wishes. I'll see you next time. Bye.